with all the new better for you products, are they going to be the target of more class action lawsuits? Well, according to the Better Business Bureau Advertising Division, yes, that is what they are predicting for 2025.
Huh.
So let's back up here for a second. More and more advertisers are using better for you claims as marketing for their products. And there is an advertising watchdog group, which this was totally new to me, is part of the Better Business Bureau. Okay. It's called National Programs Advertising Division. And they actually file, you can file claims and have a case that's actually decided on by this watchdog group. And it's kind of like a pre-claim before like going to a class action lawsuit. And whatever they decide, the food manufacturers usually go ahead and comply, so it doesn't then become a formal complaint.
Yeah.
And so some of these better for you claims, if you're not familiar with them, could include words such as free from, reduced, higher, meaning the amount of nutrients or ingredients.
Right.
The new ones I've seen are cleaner, simpler, made with few preservatives, or my fan favorite, no funky stuff. That's actually on real packaging.
I'm not
So
surprised.
basically, they're claiming that, we've talked about all these all natural lawsuits where
Right.
basically, consumers sue food manufacturers for using all natural claims when in reality, some of their ingredients are synthetic. They're not truly natural.
Right.
Now, natural doesn't have a formal definition, so it's hard to prove. I'm going to go with better for you, also probably does not have a true definition. So we
Right.
could definitely see a spike in these types of lawsuits.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
what's interesting too is that this Better Business Bureau National Programs Advertising Division, otherwise known as NPAD, they not only are they just a watchdog group, but they go through like the Better Business Bureau complaints, because you can go to their website and you can file a complaint. So you could actually go there and file a complaint against different products. And they have actually been keeping an eye on these better for you claims all the way back since 1986.
Holy
Okay.
cow. Okay.
The first, I wouldn't say it's the first, but it's the oldest claim found in food industry for this better for you. It involved a company comparing margarine made with corn oil to a margarine made with safflower oil, and they made a better for you claim. Well, they also basically, they were making this claim without having any information to back it up. So they had to take the claim off of their advertising and their product because the watchdog said, you can't actually prove this, so therefore you can't put it on your product.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so they also noted one of the things that they're really focusing on is if a company does make a better for you claim on one ingredient, that they need to make sure that the rest of the product's ingredients don't counteract that health claim.
Yeah.
Perfect example is right now, Poppy Soda is being sued over false advertising as a gut healthy soda because consumers claim that because Poppy Soda contains so much sugar, it actually cancels out any probiotic effect. So you can't say, hey, it's really better for you because it contains this one ingredient when all the rest of the crap makes it really not better for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, what I found really interesting is they are also really focusing in on not necessarily what a brand says about their products, but what brands pay other people to say about their products. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So this goes back to like paid influencers on social media. And they're stating that even if a company does not expressly approve the health or better for you claim, or even the implication of the claim, influencers cannot mention it. And influencers also have to state that they are working for that brand and they cannot say things that the brand themselves would not be allowed to say.
Smart. That's really smart, because I feel like the influencer aspect is really, it's really circumvented some things that
Well,
like, especially with advertising to children. Like,
yes. Well, and you have, especially when it comes to like quote unquote healthy foods, and especially for this whole better for you market,
yep,
we have a lot of fear mongering out there about certain ingredients and with certain types and how it's processed and ultra processed. And then you have these influencers who get paid to speak about a company. So already they're a little biased. Then sometimes they're making outlandish claims that can't possibly be true. Okay. This one was not an influencer campaign, but it reminded me of this. There's like this AI video going around where the lady says, my dad's the highest paid nutritionist in California, and here's 10 tips he tells me. And one of them is if you eat chickpeas, your boobies will get bigger and perkier. I don't know if there's a run on chickpeas right now, but I can tell you that claim is not substantiated.
correct. I would have some
So,
big old girls.
So if they were an influencer, it didn't state that they were working with the chickpea board. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays it's so easy to make these claims, and it's almost better if you make an insane claim because people are going to talk about it and like respond and engage. But at the same token, though, somebody's going to actually go start on an all chickpea diet just to get these results that are never going to happen.
Right. Man, that's a lot of chickpeas.
And so what I found really interesting here is that while they do take consumer complaints, the majority of the cases that are brought to their attention, the watchdog's attention, is actually self-regulatory, meaning that it's companies who tell on their competitors. Okay. And I found an instance that was really funny regarding fruit snacks. Okay. And we've seen quite a few lawsuits about fruit snacks.
Right.
And so, long story short, Welch's went after Mott's fruit snacks, claiming that they were reposting incentivized reviews stating things like letting kids eat Mott fruit snacks was a great way to get kids to eat fruits and vegetables, that they were wholesome ingredients, blah, 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 blah. And so the watchdog stated that basically, their advertising wasn't necessarily truthful and consistent with the label.
Shocking.
And basically you can't do this. But on the other hand, General Mills, who owns Mott's, had previously gone after Welch's because they had a commercial with, Dave Ramsey? Not Dave Ramsey. Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay. My Ramsay's mixed up.
Very different.
Yes. And Gordon Ramsay was basically throwing all the other fruit snacks in the garbage, saying they're not worth eating because they're not as good as Welch's, because Welch's includes like 55% fruit puree and all the other ones just include juice.
Yeah.
And the watchdog said, you can't do that because you're implying that all other products are worthless when they do have worth to them. Yeah. So they do kind of jump in and like tell people, hey, that's too far. You need to change that and such.
Right.
But so I just found this so funny because are we now going to start seeing just like an insane amount of these class action lawsuits from consumers because of the better for you claims?
I think there's a real possibility that we'll see a spike in things, and I think.
Well, I was impressed when Poppy soda, they went after Poppy soda because that was kind of like, I feel like this is the tipping point, and how they determine that lawsuit will really determine the future of lawsuits. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because Poppy is like a health, quote, better for you product. And if they lose this case and are deemed to be false advertising, I just think we're going to start seeing a flood of these lawsuits, just like all the malic acid lawsuits and, the all natural.
Yeah. But I think it really does mean that people either it's America and we're litigious, or, which is still a possibility, or people are being a little more discriminatory about what companies are saying about their products and that they're paying attention. I think it's maybe both. Let's go with both.
I think it is a little bit of both, because I think on one hand, people are really starting to get intentional with what they buy, who they put their money in, and what exactly is in the products that they're eating. So I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think it's a sign that marketing has gotten so out of control that the general trust level when it comes to marketing is getting lower and lower. People now do not believe the claims that companies make.
Right.
And now if you can't 100% stand by your claims, they're going to call you out on it.
Yeah. Good. Let's
So
go.
what do y'all at home think? Are we going to start seeing more better for you claim, like lawsuit claims? Let us know in the description below.